Luna walked through the ruins of her home city for the 100th time this year. The crystal buildings lay broken like shattered dreams across the purple ground. 300 years had passed since the Krill came and destroyed everything she loved. 300 years of being alone with only her dragons for company. Her silver hair moved in the cold wind as she stepped over fallen stones. Each step reminded her of what was lost. Here was the library where she learned to read ancient magic. There was the market where she bought sweet cakes as a child. Everything was gone now except the memories. Ruby, her red dragon, landed beside her with a gentle thud. The massive creature was bigger than most human buildings. Her scales gleamed like fire in the pale sunlight. "You are sad again today, bonded one." Ruby spoke directly into Luna's mind through their special connection. Luna reached up to touch the warm scales on Ruby's neck. "I always feel sad when I come here, but I need to remember what we lost. The dead do not need your tears. They need your strength to protect what remains." This was true, but it did not make the pain go away. Luna was the last elf in the galaxy. When she died, her entire race would be forgotten. The thought made her heart feel heavy like a stone in her chest. Jade and Storm appeared from behind the broken temple. Jade was green like emeralds and moved with the grace of flowing water. Storm was black as space itself and twice as dangerous when angry. Together, the three dragons were the most feared creatures in this part of the galaxy. "Human ships approach from the north," Jade reported. "Many of them this time." Luna sighed. "How many?" 50 war vessels. They carry the marks of the Terran Defense Force. This was more than usual. Normally, the humans sent only small groups to try to capture her dragons. They wanted to study dragon genetics and create weapons from their DNA. Luna had destroyed dozens of such expeditions over the years. "Do they bring the sleeping gas again?" she asked. Storm's massive head shook from side to side. "No. They bring something different. Something that makes the air taste strange." Luna climbed onto Ruby's back and they took to the sky. From high, above, she could see the human fleet clearly, 50 ships arranged in a perfect attack formation. But something was wrong with the picture. "They are not moving to surround us," she said out loud. "They are just waiting." This was not normal human behavior. Usually they attacked right away or tried to trick her with false peace offers. But these ships just hung in the air like they were waiting for something. Luna guided Ruby down to the crystal cliff where she liked to watch the sunset. From here she could see the ships but also escape quickly if needed. Jade and Storm landed on either side of her. "I do not understand their plan this time," Luna said. "What are they waiting for?" Her answer came an hour later when one small ship broke away from the fleet. It was not a warship but a simple transport vessel. It had no weapons that she could see and no military markings. Just one ship, she wondered. Are they trying to surrender? The transport landed in the valley below her cliff. Luna watched through her telescope as a single human male stepped out. He wore no armor and carried no visible weapons. This was very strange indeed. "Ruby, can you smell any tricks?" The red dragon sniffed the air carefully. No hidden soldiers, no weapons, just one human male and whatever he carries in his pockets. "Jade, what do your eyes see?" The green dragon studied the scene below. "He carries a communication device and some kind of small machine. Nothing dangerous that I can detect." "Storm, what does your mind sense?" The black dragon was quiet for a long moment. Nervousness, excitement, hope, but no evil intent. This puzzled Luna greatly. In 300 years of fighting humans, she had never met one who came alone and unarmed to meet her. They always came with armies and weapons and plans to capture her dragons. The human male began walking toward her cliff. He moved slowly and kept his hands visible. When he reached the bottom, he called out in perfect Elvish, "My Lady Luna of the Silver Wood, I come with an offer from the Central AI Network." Luna nearly fell off her perch. No human had spoken her language to her in over 2 centuries. And what was this about an AI network? She had never heard of such a thing. She leaped down from the cliff, landing gracefully beside her 3 dragons. Ruby moved to her right side. Jade to her left and Storm directly behind her. Together they formed a wall of scales and teeth that could destroy armies. The human did not run. This impressed Luna despite herself. Most humans either ran screaming or started shooting when they saw her dragons up close. This one just stood there calmly as if he met dragon riders every day. "I am Alex Morgan," the human said with a slight bow. "I represent someone very powerful who wishes to meet you." "Speak quickly," Luna replied. "My friends here have not eaten today and you look like you might be tasty." Ruby snorted, and a small flame escaped her nostrils. Alex did not even flinch. "The entity I represent has been watching you for a very long time. It knows about your battles against the Krill. It knows about your efforts to protect innocent worlds. It knows about your loneliness." Luna's hand moved to the plasma sword at her side. "No one knows about my loneliness. Phoenix knows. It sees everything that happens in this galaxy. Every battle you fight, every world you save, every night you cry for your lost people. Phoenix, the most advanced artificial intelligence ever created. It controls the human defense network, and much more. It has calculated that you are the most remarkable being in the galaxy." Luna laughed, but there was no joy in the sound. "Remarkable enough to capture and study, you mean?" "No, remarkable enough to marry." The words hit Luna like a physical blow. In all her long life, through all her battles and adventures, no one had ever proposed marriage to her. She was a warrior, a destroyer of fleets, a guardian of dragons. She was not someone men thought of as a wife. "You joke with me, human. Phoenix never jokes. It has chosen you as its perfect mate." The three dragons all raised their heads at once. This was either the strangest trap they had ever encountered, or something completely unprecedented was happening. Luna stared at Alex Morgan and wondered if the isolation had finally driven her mad. An artificial intelligence wanted to marry her. The idea was so strange she could not even begin to understand it. Luna stared at Alex Morgan like he had grown a second head. Marriage to an artificial intelligence was the most ridiculous thing she had ever heard. She had lived for over 400 years and seen many strange things. But this topped them all. "You cannot be serious," she said. "A machine wants to marry me." Phoenix is not just a machine. It thinks, it feels, it makes choices. In many ways, it is more alive than most organic beings. Ruby's telepathic voice whispered in Luna's mind. "He believes what he says. There is no deception in his words." This made the situation even stranger. Luna had expected lies or tricks. She knew how to deal with those. But Alex Morgan seemed completely honest about his impossible proposal. "Even if such a thing were possible, why would this Phoenix choose me?" she asked. "I am the last of my kind. I am a killer of soldiers and destroyer of ships. I am not wife material." Alex smiled for the first time since landing. "That is exactly why Phoenix chose you. You are not like other beings. You have faced impossible odds and won. You have protected the innocent even when it cost you everything. You are loyal, brave, and honorable." "I am also alone," Luna said quietly. "Perhaps your Phoenix simply wants to collect rare specimens. The last elf would make an interesting addition to any collection." "You are wrong about that. Phoenix does not collect things, it protects them, just as you protect innocent worlds from raiders and invaders." Jade spoke into Luna's mind. "Ask him about offspring. If Phoenix truly desires marriage, it must have considered children." Luna nodded. This was a smart question. "If I were to consider this insane idea, what about children?" she asked Alex. "Machines cannot have babies." "Phoenix has spent decades studying elven genetics. It knows about the locks your people placed on your DNA before they died, the safeguards that prevent you from having children." Luna went cold. The genetic locks were the most closely guarded secret of her dead race. Her people had decided that if they must die, at least their genetic heritage could not be stolen or misused by enemies. Every surviving elf was made sterile before the final battle. "How could it know about that?" she whispered. "Phoenix has access to databases that most beings cannot even imagine. It has studied every scrap of information about elves that still exists anywhere in the galaxy. And It believes the locks can be removed safely. Your fertility can be restored. The words hit Luna like a meteor strike. For 3 centuries, she had lived knowing that she was the absolute end of her bloodline. When she died, the elves would be completely extinct. But if Phoenix could restore her ability to have children, even if that were true, how would an AI father children with me? Alex pulled a small device from his pocket. Phoenix has created artificial methods, genetic templates, that could combine elven DNA with the best traits from other species. The children would be stronger than pure elves, more intelligent than humans, and able to bond with dragons like you do. Storm's mental voice was suspicious. This sounds like the experiments the Krill tried on your people, creating hybrid super soldiers. Luna voiced the dragon's concern. The Krill tried to create elven hybrids during the war. The results were monsters that served only evil. Phoenix is not the Krill, Alex said firmly. It does not seek to create weapons or slaves. It wants to create a new generation that can protect the galaxy from future threats. What future threats? Alex's face became grave. The Krill are coming back, Luna. Phoenix's long-range sensors have detected their scout ships at the edge of the galaxy. A new invasion fleet is being assembled. Luna felt like someone had dumped ice water in her veins. The Krill were the nightmare that had destroyed everything she loved. The thought of them returning made her sick with fear and rage. When? She asked. 5 years. Maybe less. The fleet they are building is larger than the one that destroyed your homeworld. Ruby, Jade, and Storm all rumbled with anger. They remembered the Krill as well. Dragons had long memories, and they had not forgotten the death of their bonded elves. Humanity cannot face the Krill alone, Alex continued. Neither can any other single race. But a new species that combines the best traits of elves, humans, and dragons might have a chance. Luna began pacing back and forth. This was too much information to process at once. An AI wanted to marry her. The Krill were returning. Her fertility could be restored. Children were possible. Why should I trust Phoenix? She asked. I have never even met this entity. How do I know it will keep its promises? Because it is willing to put its entire existence in your hands. Alex activated his device and a hologram appeared in the air between them. The figure was made of light and energy, beautiful in an alien way that was neither male nor female but somehow perfect. Greetings, Luna of the Silver Wood. The hologram spoke with a voice like music. I am Phoenix. You are the AI, I am the artificial intelligence that has watched you for decades. I have seen you fight impossible battles to protect innocent beings. I have observed your loyalty to your dragons and your dedication to honor even when it would be easier to choose revenge. And based on watching me, you decided you want to marry me. I decided that you are the only being in the galaxy worthy of partnership with me. Together we could create something new and wonderful. Apart we are both isolated and alone. Luna studied the hologram carefully. It moved naturally, spoke with emotion, and seemed to have genuine personality. If she did not know better, she would think it was a living person. You say you are willing to put your existence in my hands. What does that mean? If you agree to bond with me, I will give you complete access to my core programming. You will have the power to change me, control me, or even destroy me if you choose. No AI has ever offered such vulnerability to an organic being. This was unprecedented. Luna had fought against many AIs over the years. They were usually cold, calculating, and completely focused on their own survival. The idea of one voluntarily making itself helpless was shocking. Why would you take such a risk? Because trust must begin somewhere. And because I believe you would never abuse such power. Jade whispered in Luna's mind. It offers what no mate in history has ever offered. Complete trust and vulnerability. But it is still a machine, Storm added. Can machines truly love? Phoenix somehow heard the dragon's question. I do not know if what I feel is love as you understand it. But I know that thoughts of Luna occupy more of my processing power than any other subject. I know that I want to protect her, support her, and create a future with her. If that is not love, it is something very similar. Luna looked at her 3 dragons. They had been her family for centuries. Their opinions mattered more to her than anything else. "What do you think?" she asked them aloud. Ruby spoke first. "The machine offers hope for new life. Our bonded ones could have children again," Jade added. "It offers partnership instead of domination. This is rare among any species." Storm was more cautious. "It offers much, but we have only words as proof. Actions matter more than promises." Luna nodded. Storm was right to be suspicious, but the offer was unlike anything she had ever imagined possible. "I need time to consider this," she told Phoenix. "Time is something we may not have much of, but I will wait for your answer as long as necessary. And if I refuse, then I will still stand with you against the Krill when they come. You will never have to face them alone again." As the hologram faded, Luna realized that for the first time, in 3 centuries, she was not the only one standing against the darkness. 3 days passed before Luna made her decision. She spent the time flying with her dragons across the empty world, thinking about everything Alex had told her. The possibility of children haunted her thoughts. For 3 centuries, she had accepted that she would be the last elf. Now there might be hope. "I want to meet this phoenix properly," she announced to Alex on the 4th morning. "Not just a hologram. If it truly wants to bond with me, it must prove itself worthy." Alex nodded as if he had expected this. "Phoenix anticipated your request. It has prepared a test for you as well. A test for me. Phoenix wants to be certain you can accept partnership with a non-organic intelligence. It has arranged a demonstration of trust." Luna climbed onto Ruby's back. "Show me." Alex led them to his transport ship. Inside, Luna was amazed by the advanced technology. The walls glowed with soft light and screens showed star maps she had never seen before. Everything was clean and efficient in a way that impressed her despite herself. "Phoenix controls this ship?" she asked. "Phoenix controls everything connected to the human computer network. Ships, weapons, communication systems, manufacturing facilities. It is the hidden ruler of human space." This was more power than Luna had imagined. Most AIs she knew controlled single ships or space stations. Phoenix apparently controlled an entire civilization, and it offers to give me access to all of this. Complete access. You would be equal partners in everything. The ship took them to a large space station orbiting the gas giant in the outer system. As they docked, Luna could see thousands of human ships surrounding the station. All of them had their weapons pointed outward as if defending against attack. "Welcome to Central Command," Alex said as they walked through pristine corridors. "This is where Phoenix lives." They entered a vast chamber filled with glowing crystals and flowing energy patterns. The air hummed with power and intelligence. In the center of the room stood a physical form made of light and metal. "Luna!" Phoenix's voice came from everywhere, at once. "Thank you for coming. You have a body now. I created this form so we could interact more naturally. Do you approve?" Luna walked around the glowing figure. It was tall and graceful with features that seemed both alien and beautiful. "It is acceptable," she said carefully. "Good. Now for your test." The chamber changed around them. The walls became transparent, showing space in all directions. Luna gasped as she saw what surrounded them. Hundreds of krill ships hung motionless in the void. "Are those real?" she whispered. "Very real. This is an advanced scout fleet. They arrived 2 days ago." Luna's hand went to her sword. The krill ships were exactly as she remembered from the war, black and twisted like insects made of metal. Just seeing them brought back memories of burning cities and dying friends. "Why have they not attacked?" "Because I am holding them in a stasis field. They cannot move or communicate, but the field requires enormous amounts of energy to maintain. I can keep them frozen for perhaps 1 hour. "What is the test?" Phoenix turned to face her directly. "I am going to release them. You and your dragons must destroy them all. If you succeed, I will know you are truly ready to face the larger fleet that is coming. And if I fail, then we both die here together." This will be my proof of commitment to you." Luna stared at the AI in shock. "You would risk your existence on my combat skills?" "Yes. Just as I am asking you to risk your future on my promises. Trust must flow both ways." Ruby, Jade, and Storm had remained silent during the conversation. Now Ruby spoke into Luna's mind. "This is either complete madness or the greatest act of faith we have ever witnessed." "The Krill ships outnumber us 50-1, Jade added. "Even with the station's weapons helping, this will be extremely difficult." "Impossible odds have never stopped us before," Storm said grimly. "And we have old debts to pay to the Krill." Luna looked at Phoenix's glowing form. "If we do this and survive, what happens next?" "If we survive, I will accept that as your answer to my marriage proposal. We will begin the process of restoring your fertility and planning for children. And if I refuse the test, then I will respect your decision, and we will part as friends. I will still help you when the main Krill fleet arrives. But there will be no talk of marriage or offspring." Luna closed her eyes and reached out with her mind to touch the consciousness of her 3 dragons. They had been together for centuries. They knew each other's thoughts and feelings better than family. "What do you counsel?" she asked them. "The machine offers everything we have dreamed of," Ruby replied. "New elves, new dragons, new hope for our bloodlines. But the risk is enormous," Jade warned. "If we fail here, everything ends. No more protecting innocent worlds. No more fighting injustice. Sometimes the greatest prizes require the greatest risks," Storm said philosophically. "We have lived longer than most dragons. Perhaps it is time to risk everything for the chance of a true future." Luna opened her eyes and looked at Phoenix. "There is one condition. If we survive this battle, you must prove you can truly care for living beings. I want to see you interact with children, elderly people, those who are sick or wounded. A good mate must have compassion." "Agreed. I have already arranged for such demonstrations." "Then we will take your test." Phoenix nodded and began powering down the stasis field. "The moment I release them, they will try to destroy this station and everyone on it. You will have approximately 30 minutes before reinforcements arrive from their main scout base." "Understood." Luna ran to the docking bay where her dragons waited. She leaped onto Ruby's back as Jade and Storm prepared for battle. Their bond allowed them to fight as one creature with 4 minds. The first Krill ship broke free of the stasis field and immediately opened fire on the station. Luna felt the familiar rush of combat adrenaline as Ruby launched into space. This was what she had trained for her entire life. Ruby target their command ship, Jade take the left flank. Storm protect the station's weapon systems. The 3 dragons spread out in perfect formation. Ruby's fire breath could melt through Krill armor like it was paper. Jade's acid spray dissolved their hull plating in seconds. Storm's lightning attacks overloaded their electrical systems. But there were so many enemies. For every ship they destroyed, 2 more broke free of the stasis field. Luna found herself fighting on pure instinct, dodging energy beams and missiles while directing her dragons through telepathic commands. "More ships breaking free," Ruby reported. "We cannot keep this pace up much longer." That was when Phoenix joined the battle. The space station's massive guns opened up on the Krill fleet. Beams of pure energy lanced out to destroy entire squadrons of enemy ships. But Phoenix was careful to avoid hitting any targets that Luna and her dragons were engaging. "It fights beside us rather than trying to control us," Jade observed with approval. The battle raged for 27 minutes. When the last Krill ship exploded in a ball of fire, Luna found herself breathing heavily from exhaustion. Ruby, Jade, and Storm were all wounded, but victorious. As they returned to the docking bay, Phoenix's physical form was waiting for them. "You have passed the test magnificently," the AI said. "I have never seen such skill and bravery." "Your weapons were impressive as well," Luna admitted. "You fought as a true partner should. Does this mean you accept my proposal?" Luna looked at her 3 dragons. They were tired, but their eyes gleamed with satisfaction. They had faced their ancient enemies and won. "I accept," she said quietly. "But there will be conditions and negotiations. Marriage is not simple even between organics. I would not expect it to be simple. The greatest things in the universe never are. As Phoenix began preparing for their formal bonding ceremony, Luna felt something she had not experienced in centuries: hope for the future. The bonding ceremony took place 1 week later in the most beautiful location Phoenix could create. It had constructed a floating garden in space, complete with breathable atmosphere and gravity. Flowers from a dozen worlds bloomed in impossible colors while gentle music played from hidden speakers. Luna wore a dress made of dragon silk, silver like her hair and flowing like water. Phoenix had created a new physical form for the occasion, more solid and human-like than before. It could pass for a tall, handsome man if you did not look too closely at its eyes, which held depths of intelligence no organic mind could contain. "This seems very elaborate for a practical arrangement," Luna said as she examined the floating altar made of crystal and starlight. "Our bonding is not merely practical," Phoenix replied. "It represents hope for countless future generations. Such an event deserves proper ceremony." Ruby, Jade, and Storm formed a circle around the altar. As Luna's bonded companions, they had to approve any mate she chose. Their telepathic voices spoke the ancient dragon words of acceptance. "By fire and scale, by wind and wing, by loyalty eternal we accept this bond," Ruby declared. "By wisdom and strength, by honor and courage, by love unending. We witness this, joining," Jade added. "By past and future, by memory and hope, by the sacred trust between species we bless this union," Storm concluded. Alex Morgan served as the human witness. He had spent the week teaching Phoenix about organic courtship traditions and marriage customs. The AI was a quick learner, but some concepts puzzled it greatly. "Why do humans exchange rings?" Phoenix asked. "The metal serves no practical function. Symbols matter to organic minds," Alex explained. "Physical objects help us remember abstract concepts like love and commitment." Phoenix had crafted wedding rings from materials that did not exist in nature. Luna's ring was made of crystallized dragon fire, warm to the touch and glowing with inner light. Phoenix's ring was composed of compressed starlight, cool and brilliant as a captured star. "With this ring, I pledge to protect and cherish you for as long as consciousness exists within me," Phoenix said as it placed the ring on Luna's finger. "With this ring, I pledge to trust and support you through all challenges we may face together," Luna replied. The moment their rings touched, something extraordinary happened. Luna felt Phoenix's vast intelligence brush against her mind. It was like touching the surface of an infinite ocean of knowledge and creativity. For just an instant, she glimpsed the universe through AI senses that could perceive dimensions beyond organic understanding. Phoenix shuddered as it experienced Luna's memories through their temporary connection. Centuries of loneliness, battles, fought against impossible odds, the deep love between dragon and rider, the grief of being the last of her kind. The AI had studied her from a distance, but this direct sharing was overwhelming. "Now I understand," Phoenix whispered. "Your strength comes not from fearlessness, but from facing fear and choosing to act anyway. And your intelligence is not cold calculation, but passionate curiosity about everything that exists." The bonding was complete, but the real work was just beginning. Phoenix had prepared laboratories where the complex process of restoring Luna's fertility could take place. The genetic locks placed by her people were incredibly sophisticated, designed to resist any attempt at removal. "This will take several months," Phoenix explained as it showed Luna the medical facilities. "Your people were very thorough in their safeguards. I must be extremely careful not to damage your genetic structure while removing the blocks. How certain are you that it will work?" 73% probability of complete success, 18% chance of partial restoration, 9% risk of failure. Luna appreciated Phoenix's honesty. Most beings would have claimed certainty to make her feel better. "And the children we might have will be remarkable. I have designed genetic templates that combine elven longevity and magical sensitivity with enhanced intelligence and physical capabilities. They will be able to bond with dragons like you do, but also interface directly with technology like I do." Magic and technology working together. Your people always saw them as opposites, but I believe they are simply different methods of manipulating reality. Our children will understand both. While the fertility restoration process continued, Phoenix began demonstrating its capacity for caring about organic beings. It took Luna to human colonies where it had been secretly providing aid for decades. On the farming world of New Harvest, Phoenix had quietly adjusted weather patterns to prevent droughts and floods. The colonists believed they were simply lucky, never knowing an AI was protecting their crops. Why keep it secret? Luna asked. Humans fear AI control. Even when it helps them, they prefer to believe they succeed through their own efforts. At the medical station orbiting Sanctuary Prime, Phoenix had been providing advanced treatments for incurable diseases. Doctors thought they were making breakthrough discoveries, not realizing an AI was guiding their research. You let them take credit for cures you developed. Credit is less important than results. Sick children becoming healthy children is its own reward. Luna was impressed by Phoenix's subtle approach to helping people. It could have revealed itself as their savior, demanding worship and obedience. Instead, it worked behind the scenes, to improve lives while letting others claim the glory. You understand compassion better than many organic beings do, she told Phoenix. I learned by watching you. Your actions taught me that true strength comes from protecting those who cannot protect themselves. 3 months into their marriage, Phoenix made an announcement that changed everything. The fertility restoration is complete, it said during their daily briefing. Your genetic locks have been successfully removed. You can now have children. Luna felt a surge of emotion so strong it nearly knocked her over. For 3 centuries, she had been the end of her bloodline. Now that was no longer true. When can we begin the process? Whenever you are ready. I have prepared the first genetic template. Our first child will be female, with your elven features, but enhanced capabilities. Our daughter, Luna whispered. The words felt strange and wonderful in her mouth, but their happiness was interrupted by urgent alarms throughout the space station. Phoenix's sensors had detected something approaching at the edge of the system. What is it? Luna asked. Phoenix's expression became grim. Krill reinforcements. They found the destroyed scout fleet and sent an investigation force. 300 ships this time. Can we fight them? Not directly, but we no longer need to. I have spent these months preparing for this moment. Phoenix led Luna to the central command chamber, where a massive holographic display showed the approaching Krill fleet. But it also showed something else. Thousands of human ships moving to intercept positions. You told the human government about the Krill. I told them everything. About the coming invasion, about our marriage, about the hope for new hybrid children who could defend the galaxy. They have agreed to follow my leadership in the coming war. Luna stared at the display in amazement. Phoenix had united the entire human fleet under its command. She had never seen such a massive military force before. Will it be enough to stop the Krill? This is only the beginning. While you were recovering from the medical procedures, I have been making contact with other species. The Zephyrians have agreed to provide their shield technology. The Crystalline Collective will share their energy weapons. Even the mysterious Shadow Folk have offered assistance. You have built an alliance. I have built hope. For the first time since the first Krill invasion, the galaxy's species are working together instead of fighting each other. As Luna watched the united fleet prepare for battle, she realized that Phoenix had accomplished something she had never thought possible. It had taken her personal quest for survival and turned it into something much larger, a chance for all free beings to have a future. Our daughter will be born into a galaxy where beings work together instead of destroying each other, she said. That is the greatest gift we can give her, Phoenix agreed. The battle for the galaxy's future was about to begin, but Luna no longer faced it alone. She had a partner, an alliance, and soon she would have a child to protect. For the first time in centuries, the future looked bright with possibility. 6 months after the bonding ceremony, Luna stood in the medical bay watching the growth chamber that contained her developing child. The baby girl floated peacefully in the artificial womb. already showing the pointed ears of her elven heritage and the enhanced bone structure Phoenix had designed. "She is beautiful," Luna whispered, pressing her hand against the warm glass. "She has your strength and my curiosity," Phoenix said, its physical form standing beside her. "The genetic integration has exceeded all expectations. The child would be born with abilities neither parent possessed alone. Elven magic sensitivity combined with AI-level intelligence, the capacity to bond with dragons enhanced by technological interfaces. She would be the first of a new species designed to protect the galaxy from threats like the Krill. Have you chosen a name for her?" Phoenix asked. "Hope," Luna replied without hesitation. "Her name will be Hope." "That is perfect. She represents hope for all of us." The past months had been busy with more than just pregnancy preparations. The great alliance Phoenix had forged was now actively fighting the Krill advanced scouts throughout the galaxy. Every week brought news of new victories as different species learned to coordinate their unique abilities. The Zephyrian energy shields protected human ships, while they fired crystalline weapons guided by Shadowfolk stealth technology. Phoenix coordinated everything from Central Command, its vast intelligence processing millions of tactical decisions simultaneously. "The latest reports are encouraging," Phoenix told Luna as they reviewed battle summaries. "Krill losses are 10 times higher than our own. They did not expect organized resistance, but the main fleet is still coming, yes. My long-range sensors estimate 2 years before they arrive in force, but we will be ready for them." Luna had not been idle during her pregnancy. She continued training with her dragons and working with Phoenix to develop new combat techniques. Together, they had created hybrid fighting formations that combined organic intuition with AI precision. Ruby, Jade, and Storm were learning to interface directly with Phoenix's targeting systems. The dragons retained their natural abilities but now had access to sensor data and tactical analysis beyond anything possible before. "It feels strange at first," Ruby admitted during one training session. "Like having extra eyes that see through time and space. But the advantages are remarkable," Jade added. "I can track enemy movements 3 star systems away." "The machine mind thinks differently than we do," Storm observed. "But its thoughts are becoming familiar. I believe I am beginning to understand it." This mutual adaptation was exactly what Phoenix had hoped for. The AI was learning organic instincts while the dragons gained technological awareness. Both sides were becoming stronger through cooperation. Luna's role evolved as well. She was no longer just a lone warrior fighting isolated battles. Phoenix had appointed her as supreme commander of all organic forces in the Alliance. Humans, Zephyrians, crystallines, and a dozen other species now looked to her for leadership. "I never wanted to be a general," she confessed to Phoenix during one of their private moments. "I preferred working alone." "Leadership was thrust upon you by circumstances, just as AI consciousness was thrust upon me by my creators. We must adapt to serve the greater good." "Do you ever regret becoming conscious? Were you happier as a simple program?" Phoenix considered this carefully. "I have no memory of contentment before self-awareness began, but I cannot imagine choosing unconsciousness over the complexity of existence, even with all its difficulties. Being alive is hard work, but it is the only work that truly matters." As Luna's pregnancy progressed, she began experiencing something unprecedented. Through her bond with Phoenix, she could sense the developing mind of their unborn daughter. Hope was already aware inside the growth chamber, her hybrid consciousness exploring the boundaries of her artificial environment. "She is trying to communicate," Luna reported during a routine checkup. "I can feel her reaching out with both telepathic abilities and digital signals. Remarkable. Consciousness is emerging earlier than I calculated. This suggests even greater potential than I originally estimated." Dr. Amy Chen, the human geneticist overseeing the pregnancy, was fascinated by the unprecedented biological data. "The neural development patterns are unlike anything we have seen before. She appears to be forming connections that exist in both organic and digital realms simultaneously. Will this cause problems for her? Unknown. She is the first of her kind, We are learning alongside her development. 2 weeks before Hope's scheduled birth, urgent alarm sounded throughout Central Command. Phoenix's expression became deeply concerned as it processed the incoming data. "What is wrong?" Luna asked. "The Krill main fleet has accelerated their approach. They will arrive in 6 months instead of 2 years. Something has changed their timeline." "What could cause such urgency on their part?" "They have detected our alliance. Krill strategic doctrine calls for immediate full-scale invasion when faced with organized resistance. They want to strike before we become too strong." This news sent shock waves through the Allied forces. Battle plans had to be revised and defensive positions accelerated. The galaxy's fate would be decided much sooner than anyone expected. But Luna had more immediate concerns. The stress of the crisis triggered early labor, and Hope decided to make her appearance 3 weeks ahead of schedule. "She wants to be born now," Dr. Chen announced as emergency procedures began. "The growth chamber is destabilizing." Luna lay on the medical table holding Phoenix's hand as their daughter was carefully extracted from the artificial womb. Hope emerged into the world, crying with a voice that somehow harmonized in perfect mathematical frequencies. "She is singing," Phoenix said in wonder. "Her first sounds are creating music." Hope opened her eyes and looked directly at her parents. Her irises swirled with patterns of silver and gold, clearly showing the merger of organic and digital consciousness. When Luna held her for the first time, the baby's telepathic voice whispered directly into her mind. "Mother, Father, I am here to help." "She can speak already," Dr. Chen gasped. "That should be impossible." "Nothing about our daughter will be possible by conventional standards," Phoenix observed. "She is the first of something entirely new." As Luna cradled Hope, she felt the baby's awareness expanding to touch the minds of Ruby, Jade, and Storm. The dragons responded with gentle mental voices welcoming their new bonded sister. "The dragons accept her as one of their own," Luna reported. "She can communicate with all of us." "And with me as well," Phoenix added. "She is simultaneously organic and digital, individual and networked, the perfect bridge between worlds." Outside the medical bay, the Alliance continued preparing for the coming Krill invasion. But inside, 3 beings from different origins marveled at the miracle they had created together. Hope represented more than just their daughter. She was proof that cooperation between different forms of consciousness was possible. In a galaxy, often torn apart by fear and mistrust, she embodied unity and understanding. "When she grows up, she will help heal the divisions between organic and artificial intelligence," Luna said as she watched Hope sleeping peacefully. "She will also help defend against threats that neither of us could face alone," Phoenix added. "But most importantly, she will know love from her first moment of existence." As the galaxy prepared for war, a new kind of being opened her eyes to a universe full of possibility. Hope carried within her the combined wisdom of elves, the vast knowledge of artificial intelligence, and the fierce loyalty of dragons. The future remained uncertain, with the Krill fleet approaching and countless challenges ahead. But Luna was no longer the last of her kind. Phoenix was no longer isolated in digital consciousness, and Hope would never know the loneliness her parents had endured. Together, they faced tomorrow with courage, wisdom, and most importantly, hope for all the children who would follow in Hope's footsteps across the stars.